It's here again. Welcome to Sports Yard. I am your host, Emmanuel Asabri on Sports Yard. On this show, we will digest, discuss, and critique all relevant stories across the world of sports. On today's menu, we will discuss the Blasters' drop on the latest FIFA ranking. We will also discuss the Cape Coast Sports Stadium as the NSA prepares the facility to host Ghana against Sudan. And again, the National Sports Authority is at loggerheads with the Takwa Inswaye Municipal Assembly over who should manage the facility. I'm going for a breather. On my return, I will be joined by Timmy Ebusanshel as we discuss all relevant sports stories. I'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. This is Sports Yard on YADTV. I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, TikTok, Facebook, and then Instagram. On this show, we analyze, critique, and delve into all relevant sports stories across the world of sports. I'm not doing this alone. I'm together with Timmy Ebusanshel. Timmy say, Mama Inferno Ebusanshel, or Timmy Inferno, Dr. C.C. Sterling. Dr. C.C. Sterling, welcome to Sports Yard.
Welcome, my brother.
Charlie, what has been the feedback?
Oh, it's been very, very positive. It's been very, very positive. I think the viewers are in love with the content that we are churning out so far, and it's been good. It's my prayer that, we take this program to the next level.
It appears that the Blasters, oh my goodness, we sit here every weekend and then the Blasters will always give us something to talk about. Now, on the latest FIFA ranking, the Blasters of Ghana have dropped 6 places. That is from the 64th to the 70th. And then 14th on Africa. On the African, I should put it rightly.
Yeah, African rankings.
Oh my goodness. Should we sit here every weekend and then talk about the Blasters? What exactly are the issues? See, I keep asking this question. What exactly are the issues? We will go back, chronicle all the issues and all of that. But what should we do now?
All right, thank you so much. Like I always do, let me thank the viewers, those who have subscribed to YADTV and Yard Sports. Today happens to be the birthday of one of my favorite daughters. Her name is Erica. She's in the medical school in the UK. She's currently in Ghana to visit the family. So, Erica, if you are watching, from your dad, I'm wishing you a blessed, happy birthday. Then to a group of brothers. We've been brothers from school, SHS. My Tier 4 brothers. They are also, watching us. So I just want to say, I love you guys so much. Scarecrow, P4, Waga, everybody. All right, so back to the issue on the FIFA rankings. The question is, now who caused harm? Whose fault is it that our football has, declined or is deteriorating and is taking us this far, or let's say we are coming this far? You remember in our last edition, I made mention that we had a certain squad that, in my opinion, we had world-class players. And we were like, really? I was like, yes. The players we had then, we had world-class players, because if you can get a goalkeeper in the caliber of Olele, who could be imposed for Blackpool? At the time, he was in the Premiership, and he was a #1 goalkeeper for Blackpool. That's the standard. So you ask yourself that currently, do we have that caliber of goalkeeper? Let's look at Michael Essien, the Muntari.
For the sake of clarification,
yes.
Are you saying that Blackpool having a #1 goalkeeper who is a Ghanaian should be our standard?
Of course. Listen, playing. Listen,
repetition is for emphasis.
Yes.
Should be our standard.
It should be the standard. Because
standard as in Premiership.
Listen, let me give you 2 goalkeepers who have made it to the top tier, even more than the ones we know. Okay, because we had Bruce Grobler. Bruce Grobler was from Zimbabwe. He was at a point in time he was the #1 goalkeeper for Liverpool, and he was an African. Cameroon produced Kameni. Kameni was Carlos Kameni.
He played for Espanyol for many years.
He was in the Spanish La Liga.
Yeah, Espanyol.
So that should be the standard. So if I talk about world class, I think today you understand me that the players that got us to the 14th position on the FIFA ranking were world class players. You should understand me.
What is your definition? What is your definition of world class?
My definition of world class are players who could walk into any team any day and command a starting 11.
But you think our current crop of players do not have what it takes?
They are not there yet, and the results are showing.
You think so?
They are not.
I'll give you
yet.
an example. Thomas Partey plies his trade with Arsenal in the English Premiership.
Yes.
Okay. Just recently, we heard that it's been circulating on social media that, Thomas Partey will, move to either Atletico Madrid, that is his former club, Juventus, or Barcelona at the end of the season. Okay. Mohamed Kudus, for example, can play for any elite club in Europe.
Yes.
Except Real Madrid. Of course, except Real Madrid. You get it? Now, we have Mohamed Salisu, who plays for Monaco. Of course, Monaco not too long ago played against Barcelona.
He took his team to relegation.
No, but it doesn't matter. He's flying his trade with Monaco right now. And then Monaco played against Barcelona. And then they won against Barcelona. Are you sincerely saying that the team we have now is not better than what we had way back in 2006?
You can throw this question out there. That squad we had, I think, if you ask me, I would say they were generational players. They are players that will take us a very long time for us to get, in my opinion. Let's focus on the FIFA rankings, because if you claim that the current crop of players we have are of that standard, then why is the football still declining? Why are we still declining? Because let me say our worst position should have been probably in the 30s.
In the 30s,
yes, like top 30.
In
world football.
You think so?
Yes, because we were 14th. So your father say you're born crown. If we have.
But before you climb to 14th,
yeah. Of course, we came from somewhere. What it means is that we did some things right, and we're able to get there. And I know that, of course, you can't stay on top forever. But if you look at the drastic change, if you look at the difference between the 14th position and then the 70th position, if you strike the difference, it's very wide. So it should tell you that there is something wrong with our football. Not just Black Stars, but also with our local league, our youth football, and everything. Somebody will ask that, what are the implications? There are several implications. If your position on the FIFA ranking isn't that good, one, it means that you are not doing something right locally. Your local league isn't that strong.
So, on the latest FIFA rankings, we have amassed 360.43 points.
Yes.
And then, what should we do? Because it appears that Ketekreku and his cohorts are doing so well to make sure that they get the fundamentals right. However, when you look at the dynamics, the statistics, and then all the sciences, it appears that, Charlie, I said, what Charlie? Because we sit here week in, week out, we talk about the Blasters. We talk about the Blasters. we've discussed the pitch, the crop of players that we have, the standard of players that we have, and all of that.
Yes.
Don't you think it's about time we drop that yam and then move on?
Okay, there was an article I read written by Fifi Anaman.
And wow, he's renowned.
Yes, Fifi Anaman pinpoints some stuff that I would like us to talk about concerning this FIFA ranking. The factors that contributes to good football, or let's say quality football. If you say that your football is of a certain quality, the results will show. Let me give you an example. You could see that in recent time, the Italian clubs are really doing well in Europe. Even though they haven't, I would say they haven't won, because we had Roma winning the Conference League with Jose Mourinho recently. You could see that Atlanta too has been in the final recently. You understand? So they are doing something right.
They won against Leverkusen.
Of course, they also won against Atlanta played Leverkusen in the final. Yes, they won. So you can see that from
they broke a record.
Yes, from the Conference League era right to the how do you call it, Europa
League, to the Champions League.
They are doing something. Before then, we had Juventus playing Madrid in the final. We recently had Inter Milan 2022-2023 playing Manchester City in the final. So it means that they are doing something right. And I won't be surprised that an Italian team will win, you know, the how do you call it, the Champions League this season. Because if you look at the quality, even Inter played City recently in the new format of the Champions League, and you could see that, you know, City isn't getting it easy at all. So when you are doing things right, the results will show. This is what Fifi Anaman, you know, put up on the implications of, you know, having a poor ranking, if I should say. These are the factors that contribute to it. One, he says that poor governance, ineffective leadership.
Governance as in football, right?
So I will explain that. Poor governance, ineffective leadership, corruption, mismanagement with the Ghana Football Association. We'll take it one by one. Poor governance, we can narrow it to just the Football Association. Okay. From post Kwesi Nyantakyi era, the question I always ask myself is, what have we done? Have we done enough for our football, our local football? Have we done enough? And you could realize that in the days of Kwesi Nyantakyi, it was just Black Stars. Black Stars, Black Stars, Black Stars. The Black Stars was the main focus. And anytime people were lambasting Kwesi Nyantakyi, they talk about the league. Kwesi, what are you doing about the league? Kwesi, what are you doing about the league? It's been like that. What happened to our league when, you know, Keto Kweku came? It's been the same. This Ghana Premier League
You think it's been the same?
It's been the same. Asabre, results. Where are the results?
There's been several innovations. For example, boreholes for some centers across the country. Okay, so you can talk of Brekum, you can talk of Doma, and then Pram, for instance, I am told have 6 or 5 boreholes. So it means that they are trying to tackle the fundamentals. So to see that they've not done anything at all, I disagree. Maybe they've not done enough.
Exactly, but I said, have we done enough?
Enough?
That's what I said.
Enough, what is your definition of enough?
Because, listen, let's look at our league. The only time that you can get the Ghana Premier League being very competitive is in the first round. What happens in the second round? All sort of negative publicity, from refereeing taking bribes, hooliganism here and there, betting, allegations, blah, 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 blah. And all these things at the end goes to affect the football. So if you are running football as a business and you have all these negative stuffs, you know, surrounding the football, definitely it will go against you. So on the governance, we have had our issues with elections, with GFA, George Efrie wants to lead, blah, 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 wants to come, I want to do that. The question is, the person coming, what is he bringing on board? Of course, the FA has started some policies that, you know, are good. The last time I spoke about the youth development policy that they brought is good. But if we want to improve our latest FIFA ranking, we shouldn't build from the top. We should build from what? The roots.
So in a nutshell, do you think our main issue has to do with local football, as in we are not managing our local Premier League ball?
That is where
implicated national team?
Of course. That is where everything starts from. Let's go to England. Let's look at the championship. They have the National League. Mm-hmm. They have the National League. They have the championship. Mm-hmm. Majority of these players are grouped from the National League. Their National League is just like the coats. Mm-hmm. So if you go to England, they have several community pitches that they have developed just for, these young boys. The fact is, it's not everybody that makes it to an academy.
But don't you think we are beating ourselves up? Because, see, when it comes to development in itself, we are not there yet. There are a lot of things to talk about. And then we want to be doing well as they are doing in the English Premiership and then elsewhere in Europe. However, development in itself in our country is nothing to write home about. So don't you think that we should also have a plan, start from somewhere, and then hopefully we'll get somewhere in the near future?
Yes. Do you remember in the last edition you asked me that what is the way forward for our football? And I made mention of youth football. Without youth football, we have no future. So I think the FA is running the under-16 league. These are some of the things that we should be investing. These are some of the places where government should be investing money. The FA should be focusing on, because if the youth system, is dead, we have no future. Let's go to Senegal. There are several academies across Senegal. Even the ones that Sadio Mane has started in Bambali, his hometown, and then Dakar. In Dakar alone, they have about 8 academies. These are the things that we should be looking at. The next thing that Fifi Anaman spoke about was the lack of investment. Lack of investment. Have we invested enough into our football? That's the question that we should ask ourselves. Have we invested enough into our football? Without investment, without proper investment into football, there's no way we can get there. I hope you understand.
You think we've not invested?
I don't think we have done enough, because, listen, even with the construction of astroturfs across the country, it's a very good initiative. But however, the construction of these astroturfs has also raised concerns, because there are some school of thought who also believe that these astroturfs might end up killing talents. And this is their reason. Accessibility to these pitches comes at a cost. Let me take the one that was constructed in Kaswa. I think Hawa Kumsin also.
In the one after the Kaswa?
Yes. If you want to have access to it, you pay around 300 to 400 cedis.
So, Timmy, let me establish this. It is not as if when you go to Europe, football academies and then access to football pitches are free. We should let our people know that when you want to enroll your kid or your ward into an academy in Europe, you have to pay a fee. So in Ghana, for instance, there are a lot of academies who are running from the pocket of their CEOs, from the owners and all of that. That is not sustainable. So for example, government have constructed 150 pitches over across the country. You get it? And then they have to manage these pitches. These pitches comes with the pitches come with a flood light and then other like washrooms, changing rooms and all of that. How do you expect government to manage the pitches if you say that it is inaccessible, and then you want people to use these facilities for free, and then when they deteriorate, you come back and they say that the government is not doing anything to maintain our pitches and all of that. We are asking too much from the government, don't you think so?
I don't think we are asking too much from the government. We are not. Because sports is one avenue that when you invest, it goes a long way to, you know, boost the economy. My reason was that if these astroturfs are coming at a cost, of course, they will come at a cost, but in a third world country like Ghana, or any other third world country you know, and we want to develop our football, I think that this should be investments that we should be looking at. Let me say, it should be some kind of a charitable investment without necessarily expecting anything back. The reason is that, you know, before these astroturfs, we had community parks. Today, majority of these community parks have been sold to, you know, estate developers and the rest. Meanwhile, we also have talent that we have to nurture. So if we believe that the astroturf is the way to go, by the grace of God, betting tax and the rest have been introduced. Why can't we use these monies to maintain these pitches for kids to play? That's one. Then two, we want to develop football, and development of football should begin from the grassroots. The ordinary child on the street should have access to football, should own a football, play anytime he or she wants to play. I hope you get me.
Should own a football?
Yes, should own a football. So if we are talking about this, then of course, the pitches and the rest should be closer to the kids, such that anytime he picks his ball, he can go and play. Because if the interest is not developed from, you know, infancy, it will be difficult. Don't forget that it's not everybody too that will get money to send his or her child to an academy.
But if you are not living in an eco-friendly house, or let's say in an estate where these facilities are made available for tenants and all of that, should we always rely on the government to produce all of these for us? Because it appears that we are not doing anything. It is always the GFA government, GFA government. Meanwhile, as well as where in Europe, we all know that it is not just the government and then the football association. Families and then friends are doing well to make sure that we are nurturing talent. Look, we've had enough of all of this. Now, I've always asked this question. Do you think it is the GFA? Who should develop our football? Is it the government or individuals, as in private?
If you ask me, the ecosystem of football, okay, does not rest on just the Ghana Football Association alone. It doesn't rest on government alone. It's a kind of a collaborative effort. Since our independence, the first gentleman of the land, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was an ardent follower of sports. He loved sports. And at any point in time, he was involved in what? In sports. History has it that in his reign, he brought Real Madrid to come and play, you know, with Black Stars. So this is how far we have come. We cannot talk about football development leaving out government. We cannot talk about football development leaving the FA. The FA should have the prototype, and then government should help us to develop it. If the FA draws a plan that, listen, we want you to construct so and so pitches for us. We want you to construct so and so mini stadiums for us. Between the FA and the government, of course, it's the government that holds the purse, the public purse. And the way cocoa is the bona fide property of government. That is why if you smuggle it out, you'll be arrested. Government should also make football its bona fide property. If government believes that football is its bona fide property, he will make the necessary investments.
Don't you?
The reason is that.
Don't you think? Mm-hmm. Don't you think this will be a discussion for another day because, see, FIFA, through its Go project, have, given the Ghana Football Association over 260,000 USD. Granted that the government do not have people with expertise to manage a football pitches, to nurture talent and all of that. What has the FA done? If you go to Pram Pram, for instance, there is a vast land, okay? They train referees, they train footballers and all of that. They hold conferences and all of that. But there hasn't been a single time that the Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence have hosted the Blasters of Ghana. Who should we blame? Because granted, without admitting that the government is at fault, does the FA across the country have a single pitch that can host the Blasters, as in train, before a FIFA sanctioned match? If they do not have, why do we keep saying government, whereas the Football Association in itself have not done enough for our national teams? Okay.
You know, the issue of government and the FA, you can't talk about it, rawly, like as it is. Do you remember some time ago, we had government appointing the vice president of the, we used to have government even appointing the FA president then. So they said that, government shouldn't be involved in football matters and politics and all that. And because of that, the Football Association became so powerful. That was where we started having problems with football development. The reason is that if the president of the association comes with no plan, comes with no desire to help the sport, government cannot call him to order. That's what it means. Anybody at all can just come and do whatever he or she likes, and go away. Just because if you interfere, FIFA is going to ban you. Football development, of course, is in the hands of the FA, but it cannot be done also without government support, because that's what is done anywhere across the world. You can't talk about the Italian Football Federation, football development without government support. You can't talk about the FA, the English FA, football development without government support. There is money that the government gives to, grassroots football every year. Every year they have money they give to, the grassroots football, the FA for development. Even in Senegal, Togo, almost everywhere the government contributes to football. So of course,
can you mention Ghana's government monies they've given to the FA?
What I know is that if you look at our schools and colleges, there are government subventions that comes for sports. In my place, it's called capitation. So there is sports capitation that government pays every year to schools for college games.
What do they use it for?
That's what I'm saying. They use it for games, for sports, athletics.
They are used
football. Of course, they are used for it. When I was in college, we did sports. So all these sports stuff, of course, they all come from government. But if we are looking at funding, then of course, let's look at funding. The question is, the monies that government brings, is it enough? If it's not enough, then of course, let's focus on funding. How do we also raise money to invest in the sports to make sure that, we get to the level where we want to? We went to the World Cup in 2010. We came back with a lot of money, and we couldn't even build one mini stadium. You understand? We couldn't even build, sustainable pitches across the country for our football. Meanwhile, it was these same pitches that, managed to help us to get there. So until government and the FA come together and have a policy direction for our sports, our football will continue to suffer. Today we are lying 70. I won't be surprised that by 2025 we will move downwards until probably we discover oil. Because that is the state of our football
just
now.
a sports yard, Timmy Ebusamshel thinks that until the government and the Ghana Football Association come together, the 70th won't be enough. We will keep digging until we get to the bottom of the latest FIFA ranking. That's a sports yard. I am Emmanuel Asabri. I am not doing this alone. I am here with Timmy Ebusamshel. I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and all other social media handles. We are going for a breather. On our return, we will talk about the National Sports Authority. They are the talk of the town. I'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. This is Sports Yard on YADTV. My name is Emmanuel Asabri, and then I'm not doing this alone. I have with me here Dr. Sisi Sterling. Timmy Ebusamshel, or say friend Dr. Sisi Sterling. Well, we've been discussing the Blasters of Ghana, and then we'll move on to the National Sports Authority. I am sure that is why the president himself is confused. He doesn't have an idea of who he should appoint. Well, during the week, he terminated the appointment of the Director General, and then also the National Sports Authority in Takwa have issues with the Municipal Assembly because they do not have an idea of who should take the realms or who should manage the stadium in Takwa. This has been an issue, and then they've issued a communique. The Takwa Municipal Assembly have also issued a rebuttal and all of that. We also discussed the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. I'm not doing this alone. Of course, I have Timmy Ebusamshel. Timmy, do you think the Cape Coast Sports Stadium will be ready for Blasters next game?
In the last edition, I was one of the few people who was hopeful that government will be swift in responding to the demands of the people so that we can, put our stadium in shape for us to play football. I was highly impressed with the work we are doing so far. However, the question is, why should we wait to come this far before we can do these things? All these things can be done, like I said in my previous submission. How much will it cost us to maintain these pitches, put them, in the right shape? But it was out of negligence, and this is how far we've come. So if they are putting the various stadiums in shape, it's my prayer that it will meet the standards of FIFA, meet the standards of CAF, so that we will be able to have, to be able to host Sudan when they come here.
But if we host Sudan in Cape Coast, should we be rest assured that we can beat Sudan in Cape Coast?
I made mention that qualifying for the 2025 AFCON will be extremely difficult. I made that submission in my earlier, thing.
That is a previous
episode. The previous episode. The fact that we are playing in Ghana wouldn't be a guarantee that we are going to beat Sudan. One, Sudan, Kwesi Appiah manages Sudan, and he knows this Ghana team very well. And I also said that our team lacks cohesion. And it's been one team that has had problems in all departments, from the goalkeeping, midfield to attack. I made mention of that. However, it is football. If we are able to get our tactics right, we can win. But if you ask me, like I said, our chances of qualifying is 30% against 70%. If we are able to get our tactics right, the fans get behind the team. And don't forget that it's been a long time we played at Cape Coast. Supposing Cape Coast is the venue that gets approved for us to play our football. It's been a long time we played a football match there. I quite remember, not even with Black Stars, we played the All African Games there recently. That's the youth side. And I think they also used the park for 2018-2019 WAFU tournament.
That is 2017 for
2017,
the WAFU
yes,
tournament.
for the
and
WAFU
then in
tournament.
2018 it was for the African Women Championship. That is Accra Sports Stadium and then Cape Coast.
Yeah.
But the Cape Coast Stadium was used for the the third matches in a group game should be played simultaneously. That was
when they made it. So it's not really one of the places where we play, active football, because the facility has been made redundant for a very long time. However, I believe that if it gets the necessary approval, of course, the fans will troop in their numbers and then, go and support the team.
We have 4 games to spare. 4 games, meaning we have 12 points to amass.
Yes.
Do we have what it takes to amass the 12 points?
Kwesi Appiah, if we have to qualify, we have to beat Kwesi Appiah home and away. I made mention of that. Anything short of that, we can't qualify.
Do you think it's a tall order?
It's a very tall order. Losing to Angola in Ghana is unpardonable. And you see that this team, like I said, this team is even known for conceding late goals. It didn't start today. It started from our last AFCON, when the ball has even crossed the line and the goalkeeper went to touch the ball, and the rest was history.
They keep mentioning your name. Why?
So the rest was history. However, like I always say, it is football. Anything can happen. We can possibly beat Kwesi Appiah home and away, but it's going to be difficult. The man also has to save his job. Kwesi Appiah, under the circumstances which he left his job, was quite disheartening. And I believe that he will have a point to prove.
What is disheartening if your contract expires and then you are told to, exit the door so that
I believe that he would have loved to stay. But for probably politics and the rest.
Did he do enough to stay?
And the one managing the team currently, is he also doing enough for us to extend his contract?
Prior before his departure, the Blasters recorded 8th West AFCON appearance in Egypt in 2019. Okay, so the team left or exited the group with just 2 points, right?
Yes.
They drew against Angola. No, they drew against Tunisia and then drew against Benin. Okay.
Yeah.
And then lost.
I think, was it the one that, Comoros didn't play in that country. We didn't play
Comoros. It was Comoros.
Comoros, right?
No, Comoros
didn't play.
Comoros was Milovan Rahimac.
Milovan, yeah.
That is in 2021.
Yeah.
2021. But probably prior to that, it was Kwesi Appiah who went for the 2019. I recall 2019 because they camped in the UAE. I was with them in the UAE, and then on my return, we performed abysmally. Now, moving on. The National Sports Authority, they've been like, they are making headlines and all of that, just because they can't provide a stadium for Blasters qualifiers as we prepare for Sudan. That is one issue. Another issue is that they are fighting the municipal assembly in Takwa in Swayim, that they have been mandated by law to manage all stadia across the country. But one will argue that even with the normal stadiums, the stadia we know, as in Kumasi, Accra,
Old Sports Stadium, Koforidua, and the rest.
Those ones are mini stadiums, and then we don't want to talk about them.
We are talking about the monumental ones.
Yes, the monumental ones. So, Accra Sports Stadium, Kumasi, Cape Coast, Takrady, and then Tamale. It is nothing to write home about. However, they are fighting over ownership that they've been mandated by law. So long as this was a corporate social responsibility by the Goldfields Ghana Limited, they should be at the helm of affairs. Do you think they should be given domain to manage the facility in Takwa and Aboso?
Absolutely a big no for me. Now, let me throw this to the public or to the viewers. Let's look at the core duties of the National Sports Authority. And let's see if they are living by it. 1, it says that developing and implementing national sports policies. One of their duties is that they have to develop and implement national sports policies.
It is a core mandate.
That's a core mandate. 1. 2, promoting sports development and participation. 2. 3, managing sports teams and athletes. 4, organizing international and local events. Then the 5th one, maintaining sports infrastructure and facilities.
That is where we are now.
Yes. So the number 5 is where we are. One of their core mandates is to what? Maintain sports infrastructure and facilities.
Have they done enough?
The question is, if you have a farm manager who is incompetent and you manage to develop another farm, will you give the farm to your incompetent farm manager, or you like to hire the services of somebody else for him to manage it? In this instance, the facility isn't a government facility.
No.
It's more of a private.
No.
Let me.
No. I have to establish this.
Let me land.
For education purposes.
Let me land. The facility was built for the community. Like any other AstroTurf, community AstroTurf you have. Let's get that. The facility was built for the community. Like any other AstroTurf you have in your community. It's for the people of, it's for the community. Mm-hmm. They are the custodians of the facility. Mm-hmm. That's one. Now, if you look at what the National Sports Authority manage, they manage the monumental, let me say edifices or stadium or whatever. Anything.
But is that what the law says?
The reason is that if you look
at... Is that what the law says?
That's not what the law is saying. But then what I'm saying is that the facility is not a government property.
But what is it?
That is what I'm explaining. It's more like social corporate responsibility.
Hello TV.
If MTN built
Timmy,
a mini stadium
for the purpose of education,
yeah,
corporate social responsibility.
Yes.
It is done for a community, okay? Mm-hmm. A community. So which community are we talking about? That is Takwa and Aboso.
And Aboso.
Right? Okay. So a stadia or a stadium is built for Takwa and Aboso. Okay. So who do the people of Takwa and Aboso represent? Is it not the government? Is it not the public? I'm asking you, is it not for...
Listen.
Is it not the government? Is it not? I'm asking you a question.
The people,
it is not to listen.
Like
it is not to listen.
They are represented.
It is not to listen.
Let me understand.
I ask you a question.
Let me understand.
I'm asking you that the people of Takwa and Aboso.
Yes.
Are they not part of a community?
They are part. Of course, they are part of a community.
Do they not form part of the government?
In what way do they form part of the government?
Absolutely, they are part of the country.
So let's say they are citizens. They are part of the country.
But who says that citizens are not part of the government?
You can draw that line. Because if we talk about government, we are talking about the ruling class.
That is fine.
Or the people
fine.
that are ruling.
So
we cannot add subjects. You can't add subjects to government.
Any private company,
yes.
Any private company,
yes,
has a responsibility.
Yes.
Corporate social responsibility.
Yes.
And then Goldfields Ghana Limited.
Yes.
Because they've made so much money from the town, from the community, they said that, okay, let's build something monumental. Mm-hmm. They chose to build what? A stadium, because the people of Takwa and Aboso love football so much. Now, they built it. And then who do you think owns this?
Asabre, is the company a private company or is a government company? That's what we should
it is establish. A private company.
Yes, if it is a private company,
so
why should,
let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. If you build a borehole, mm-hmm, in let's say Kaswa.
Yes.
In let's say Kaswa.
Yes.
Who owns it?
It's for the people. It's for the people.
Absolutely.
It is also
if it is for the people. Mm-hmm. If it is for the people.
Listen.
Then you can't make this situation a peculiar one.
I still don't agree with you. Do you know why?
No, as to whether you agree with me, no, I have to establish it. As to whether you agree with me or not,
owned by.
As to whether you agree with me or not, it's a topic for another day. But we have to establish, for the purpose of education, that once there is a corporate social responsibility.
Obuasi Goldfields is not a government
let me make
institution.
A point. Let me finish.
Let's also establish that.
Let me finish making my point. I'm saying that once the Goldfields Ghana Limited, did a corporate social responsibility, okay, automatically the government owns it, because it is for the people of Takwa and Aboso. What you think is different, what you think doesn't matter.
So the community centers that are built by individuals and others for the community, do they also belong to government?
Yes. So it is a good question.
That's the question.
No. It is a good question because, there are some monuments or some facilities which will be managed by the municipal assembly. Okay. And then by law, there are some companies who are mandated to manage certain facilities. So I'm saying that when it has anything to do with sports, the National Sports Authority have been mandated to manage these facilities. So what you think doesn't matter.
Then I believe Pobiman should also be managed by a National Sports Authority.
No, Pobiman is owned by a private company.
Same as Obuasi Goldfields.
No, that is where you are losing.
You see, let's not. This issue is quite a dicey issue.
It is not dicey.
And the reason why it has become,
not dicey.
I'm coming. The reason why it has become a topical issue is that Honorable Benjamin Kessie, the MCE, together with, you see, the fact is that when the facility was commissioned, okay, it was Honorable Mreku Duka.
Yes.
He was there at the event.
MP for Takwa and Swahim.
Handed it over to the MCE. That was where the whole controversy started from. The facility was handed over to the MCE because the chiefs and the people of the community made it clear that they do not want the facility to be managed by NSA. The reason is that NSA has a very bad record when it comes to the management of our various, sports infrastructure. In that vein, they won't, allow NSA.
If the chiefs disagree, then we should amend the law. Because
that is why I'm saying that
we should
have a facility in Obuasi.
We should amend the law.
Obuasi Inclusive Sports Stadium is not managed by NSA.
What they think or what they want to do doesn't matter at this point, because if they disagree with anything, then it means there should be an amendment, okay, of the law, because as far as the law is concerned, the National Sports Authority have been mandated to manage our facilities. All these things do not matter. Now, let's move on straight to Cape Coast, because for Takwa and Swahim, if we should continue, we will end the next day. So, Cape Coast Sports Stadium. There are a lot of videos circulating on social media, okay, that the Cape Coast Stadium is being readied, as in they are preparing the stadium for Blasters' next game against Sudan. So who is doing Ghana at all? Like, who are we doing? A stadium that was left to rot, all of a sudden is being maintained or is being, renovated to host a CAF, Category 3 match as the Blasters prepare for a match against, Sudan. Who at all is doing Ghana?
It is very, very, very worrying. It's a very worrying situation. If I had the means, I think I personally would have organized a demonstration against the government. That even on the day where the match will be played, no supporter should go to the stadium, because it's an insult to us. If we had money to maintain these pitches and we sat down for it to descate like that, then there's something wrong with our thinking. right from the president to the cleaner. I even have issues with stadiums where we have dirty washrooms. Asabre. It's a very worrying trend in Ghana. Accra Sports Stadium, you can't go to the washroom.
We've already normalized that.
So
people defecate and then ease themselves
you
outside
can't.
the stadium.
Honestly, you can't. But the question is, the people that we give these various stadiums to manage, they have no.
Who are you referring to?
I'm talking about the NSA. The people who manage these facilities, they have no proactive, instincts in them. Listen, if you give this, let me use myself for example. If you give this facility to me, I don't think I even have to pay money for somebody to come and clean the washroom. Do you know why?
Tell me.
There are so many cleaning, companies in Ghana. Why don't you partner them? Strike a deal. When Black Stars is playing a football match, do you know the number of people that come to the stadium? Just get an advertising board for them. Connect with the media. Oh, our washrooms are being sponsored by so and so soap detergent, so and so cleaning services. If you need their services, contact them. And see if you won't even raise money for them.
You think it comes?
Of course.
It comes easy?
Listen, we are talking about a national facility. This is a national facility. This is not a private facility. How many toilet roll companies do we have in Ghana? How many tissue companies do we have? How many soap detergent companies do we have in Ghana? Bring them on board. Erect their billboards, around the stadium. Give them pitch panels for mileage.
So let's.
And we'll have our washrooms always clean.
We should also say this. See, CAF matches or FIFA sanctioned matches.
Yes.
When it comes to the marketing, okay, it is not done by the GFA. It is not done by the National Sports Authority. Because CAF single-handedly have taken domain of their own marketing strategy. You get it? So to think or to suggest that we can engage these private companies to come on board and then do all the janitor work, the sanitaries for us, and then we will erect their, billboards and all of that. It doesn't come that easy because CAF in its own, wisdom, have made sure that all, pitch panels are regulated by themselves. So do you think it will come easy? No, it won't come easy. So you don't sit at the comfort of your home, think that it will be easy. Let's bring these people on board and then they can manage and do all of that.
That is what I'm saying, that it's not necessarily, it's not only CAF events that we host there. That's what I want you to understand.
No, you used Black Stars as a yardstick.
That's why I'm saying that it's not, even if that's the case, it's not only Black Star events that we host there. The washrooms are there 24/7 for any other activity. You understand? And erecting billboards outside the stadium, I believe that in CAF competitions, there are some advantage areas where cameras will capture and all that. But what about outside the stadium? You understand? Anybody we have about 40,000 people walking into the stadium. So if you have their billboards erected, of course, so and so laundry, so and so cleaning services, they are responsible for our washrooms. And then you yourself, when you enter the washroom and you realize that they've done a good job, me, if I'm a corporate person, I'll quickly call them. Oh, come and do this work for me. And people even discuss you on radio that, oh, these guys are doing a great job. The washrooms are always clean. So we recommend them to so and so. It's not everything that is done with money. Why should we have a whole national facility deteriorate just because we don't even have money to buy tea roll, soap, and others? It doesn't make sense.
Okay, so
meanwhile, we have several sponsors for Black Stars, and we don't even have soap detergents and others for.
And then you think people at the helm of affairs are not doing enough?
They have no idea. You see, our football, unfortunately, is being managed by people who have not even played counters ball in their lives before.
You think so?
I'm telling you for a fact. So? Our football,
Ket Okriko is on record.
Listen,
it's on record.
Our football. Ket
Okriko is on record that he played football for a while And then
they are doing this.
He used all his money to invest in
and they are doing this.
And then we should establish
the NSA boss also played football and he's doing this.
He's a graduate of.
You forget he is in football, so for him I'll not even talk about. I'm talking about the managers.
But who manages Ghana football?
Listen, I'm talking about the managers of these facilities. I don't think they've even played football before.
Do they necessarily have to play football?
Listen, there is one thing being involved in something. I believe that coaches who have played football before and are coaching, they understand the game better than those who haven't played it before. You understand? If you have been in it before, you know how it feels like. You'll be passionate about it. If you look at the monies that we waste on irrelevant things, you'll be marveled. Meanwhile, these are things that, I mean, you rent a stadium out, you'll be shocked that we don't even have pitch covers. Ordinary pitch covers we don't have.
You think it is ordinary?
Oh, we called the last time I listened to their PRO, the lady who works at Kumasi, one of their PROs, and she said they don't have. Professor Chumesi was called. He said they don't have pitch covers. They don't have. If we have pitch covers, we've been watching programs. Shatter Place shows, the Stoneboy Place shows, and the pitches are always there. So recently, Lighthouse,
who is doing
Ghana? Tabel, they all had programs there.
Who is bewitching Ghana?
Well, this question I don't think I can answer. But until we change our thinking, because nothing is going to work in this country.
A sad thing is that the Ghana Premier League have already commenced. We played 2 Premier League, like match day 2 already, and then Accra Sports Stadium have been closed down for renovation.
Yes, for renovation.
Okay, Kumasi Sports Stadium have been closed down ever since we played against Angola. Okay, and then Cape Coast Stadium is being readied for Ghana's match against Sudan. And then we've seen pictures and videos on social media.
Renovation.
Yeah. Now, we've also seen on social media that Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa have put out on social media that Akufo-Addo and his family, Akufo-Addo, the president of the Republic, have spent excess of 85 million Ghana cedis to maintain our facilities, as in Accra Sports Stadium and the Kumasi Sports Stadium. Since 2018, they've taken $85 million Ghana cedis, and then these facilities are nothing to write home about. I mean, even if we should narrow it to 2018, okay, all these people who take contracts to renovate or upgrade our pitches, what at all is the reason why they don't do the right thing or meet CAF's standard?
Okay, I think this story has different dimensions, because the last renovation in the previous episode, I made mention of some renovations that we've made in the past, starting from 1978, where we had to use the Accra Sports Stadium to host CAF, AFCON, and then we renovated. Then in 2008, we had it renovated. Then in 2016, 2017, it was closed down for renovation, which of course we saw. So there are several twists in this story. This one has said that it was taken around 2022, 2023. That money was paid by the Ministry of Finance. But
the national, the Ministry of Youth and Sports have come out to debunk those claims, saying that the AESL were the consultants for these renovations and all of that. You get it? So it has nothing to do with what you are saying. They specifically mentioned 2018. That is prior to Ghana's hosting of the African Women's Championship in Accra. And
which was done or it wasn't done?
It was
because
done.
I remember, was it not a CMS time that they closed it down?
So they've mentioned a quite...
because I remember that one was done.
They've mentioned like specifically what they did at the stadium.
Yes.
Okay, but there's one particular thing that struck me. that they worked on I think the washrooms. Hey, washrooms.
I've spoken about the washroom already.
But have you been to the Accra Sports Stadium lately?
I've been to the Accra Sports
What
Stadium.
did they change?
That's why I'm saying that. Let's come to the story. Let's not. You see, this story is a very interesting story, and it should call for investigation. We believe that when contracts are awarded, duties are spelled out. If I award you a contract that you should do A, B, and C for me, I expect that you do A, B, and C for me. If the minister has been able to intercept these documents, supposed documents he's talking about, I think that he should also be able to get us the contract for us to know exactly what kind of work they did that merited that money.
But the scope of work is mentioned in the communique.
One, was it with respect to the seats? Was it with respect to the pitch, the washroom, or probably we don't have a roof?
All of these have been spelled out.
So if all of these have been spelled out, that's what brings me to question number one. As it stands now in Ghana, we have only one company that is recognized for, construction of pitches. That is Green Grass Technology.
They are only consultants.
They are the only consultants as it stands now who construct, pitches, and they have that track record. In 2008, they did that work at the various, sports stadiums, the stadiums in Ghana. So they have that track record. Now, have they been contacted between this period of time to work on our pitches?
Well, this is all time will permit us on Sports Yard, right here on YADTV. I've not been doing this alone. Timebo Sancho, the troublesome guy, is always here with me. And then I want to say a big thank you to my director of production, K. Hazard. So I will how much in powerbacks. No worries. And then to Louise Agrifin, my manager himself, Charlie Medasibibri, and then to my floor manager, Kwame Vice, under the lights, Charlie Medasibibri, and then to everyone doing the watching out there. We know we are humans, we do a lot of mistakes. However, don't forget to leave your comments, like our program, share, tell a friend to tell another friend to like, share, and then comment. Until we meet again, this is Sports Yard. My name is Emmanuel Asabre. It's bye-bye for now.
YADTV, bridging continent.